Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mega Gamecast. Today we're going over the games coming out in June 2016. No Man's Sky got delayed, so that's the end of the episode.
Ryan was the one who sent the death threats out to
Whoa. Don't out me there, Sai.
I'm sorry, Ryan, but I was very offended by you criticizing that poor individual, you and the other followers.
Yeah, but I bet you that
All
developers going to be offended by you not purchasing their products. So.
Beep. This is a message for Ryan. Be sure to edit out this part of this message. Beep.
Yeah. Edit out the last 30 seconds of the podcast, lest I be arrested.
Star Ocean. That's another game that's coming out I can't wait for as well.
So before we get into games of June proper, one thing that we didn't get to talk about last month because it hadn't been announced was the final expansion to The Witcher 3, Blood and Wine, coming out on May 31st, the day after we record this. And before they released that, they released a huge patch today. They fixed a lot of, I wouldn't say fixed, but they just tweaked a lot of things. They added this option in the gameplay settings to level all of the enemies. So you don't, if you're in an area that is way under level for you, it'll bump everybody up to your level.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you won't be just like wrecking everybody. Because that's basically how that game ended up being when you were going back to
once you got too powerful, yeah.
If you were like level 35 walking around a level 14 area, you were just chopping heads off with not even a second thought. And I actually turned it on, and I played a little bit today to get ready for the expansion and everything like that. And yeah, it's tough. I was level 35, and these guys went from level 14 to level 35. And
so they scaled evenly. Oh man.
Yeah, they were right on. They were right up to my level, and it was tough.
Yeah, because usually even scaling means like very hard. I've
yeah,
noticed.
A lot of people criticize that game for being a little bit too easy, but I played on the second to highest difficulty for most of the game, and I thought it was okay. I was over leveled for most of it though, because if you go around and exploring and everything, you're just gonna over level yourself. That's just how these kind of games work.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how they want you to play though. I mean,
it's however you want to play. If you want to just do the main story, you're gonna probably have more of a challenge because things will be right on your level.
Yeah, but aren't there like they make you like level up at certain points, don't they? Like you can't like go into certain
there's certain aspects of the game you can't enter because if an enemy is way too high for you, it'll kill you.
Yeah, it's like
so they'll actually let you try to play it though.
Yeah,
like they won't prevent you. Okay.
No, but every quest has a recommended level, and I found it hard with that game to do everything for the recommended levels. Yeah. Before you got to the next level and you started doing like side quests and things that were way too easy for you.
See, that's what Syndicate tries doing, but I've realized that's such a lie. So
the first-person shooter.
The problem with everybody that says this game is easy is the fact that they put it on such an easy level. They don't play it on the hardest difficulty. Most people, when they put the game on the hardest difficulty, can't get past the first 8 levels without them. I quit.
Yeah. 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 No, I went. I think it was Blood and Broken Bones was the second to highest one, and then Death March was the highest. I did Blood and Broken Bones. I did everything up until that fight with that guy on top of the hill. Yeah. Remember that, Red?
Yeah.
That bad guy. I had to bring it down to the level below to beat him, and then I brought it back up. I just could not beat him.
See, I put it on Death March unintentionally because I just...
Red's going all out.
I have a bad tendency to put all my games on the hardest difficulty because I want a challenge.
It's respectable.
So I put it on the hardest difficulty. I was probably a good 20 hours into the game, and somebody's like, "Hey, man, what difficulty are you playing now?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. I keep getting killed. Maybe I should check this." So I checked the difficulty and saw it was on Deathmatch. I was like, "That explains a lot." I was wondering why it was so hard to beat a level 8.
That's hilarious.
So that's one of the major tweaks. Another big tweak they made was they not completely, but they adjusted a lot of the UI. So I play on PC, but I like to play on my TV. And some of the UI on PC was really tiny. Like the text was really small.
Dude,
so they've adjusted that a little bit all along the way. Yep. But I don't know if it was this one or one of the other patches that did it, but they made this option for like pop-out item descriptions. You can enlarge them so you can see them far away.
Yeah.
And the way they've organized the inventory is just completely different than the way that they had it before. You now have like a potions tab, an alchemy
nice.
tab. Yeah, they broke it all out, which was one of the. You got used to it after a while, but it was kind of a pain in the ass to go through all of these items just to find that special potion you were looking for.
So now it's more accessible.
Yeah.
Or
That's
that
legit.
special oil that you needed, and you're sitting there going through like
Yeah.
all the other crap, and that.
Exactly.
Oh man.
And you can quickly access all of Geralt's stats to see if you're equipping a weapon, if it's going to give you a boost or not. Like, it's this huge breakout on the side that's like every single stat you could ever possibly want for him. And
Now,
So Ryan, let me ask: did this interfere with the enjoyability of the game? Like, was it that distracting, or did it
You
not
get
have
used
much
to it.
bearing?
back then, yeah, you just got used to it. I mean, it was definitely a complaint. Like, when I was playing it, I was like, man, I wish this was
When
a
that game
little bit
come out?
better.
A year
ago, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Dude,
so I mean, a year later, they're finally fixing the issue.
yeah, but dude, it's like that's probably why, because it just got so many accolades that. But
Well-
that's the thing. Like, they don't rest on their laurels. They keep.
Yeah, the
Fixing the
fact
game.
that this came out a year later
Yeah.
in support of this game is crazy. I mean,
Dude,
most
they-
games you stop getting updates like a month after or something
Or
like that.
6 months
Yeah,
tops.
6 months at the most.
Like, Batman Arkham Knight had like 6 months content, and that was it pretty much.
Yeah.
So, and like.
So- Are any of you upset that this will be the last thing in the Witcher series?
Was that completely confirmed? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of on the wall. I mean, a lot of people are saying, yeah, it's done. It's completely done. And then there might be a little bit more to it because if you know about the actual stories behind the actual games, there's so much more they can do.
yeah, there's these big
and it
old
may
novels.
not necessarily be a sequel to The Witcher 3, but might be a prequel to all of it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
cool.
Maybe some side stories or
That'd
something.
be interesting.
Because you gotta, I mean, this one was obviously the most successful, the best selling, and
Yeah. And,
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah, it was the game of the year by many publications.
so, yeah, I mean,
set the bar.
I don't know if they'd release a whole nother standalone game or if they'd keep releasing DLC for this.
Well, dude, they basically gave you guys like 2 more games with these DLCs.
Yeah, like this DLC is supposed to be between 20 to 30 hours depending on how much time you put into it.
and the
Right.
one before that too was another.
It was
20.
pretty substantial, yeah.
So, but this is what I mean. This is when like people, like when Ryan and I have said something about Overwatch being overpriced. It's games like The Witcher that just look how much content is in there
Yeah.
for the same price you're paying for Overwatch or The Order or something like that. you know?
Yeah, I mean, I put in, what is it, like 109 hours into The Witcher,
Yeah. Like,
non-repeatable content. It
That's
was
amazing,
all
yeah.
original content that I experienced with that game.
It's
that's the
it's
same-
it's almost unheard of, Ryan. I agree.
Well, actually, no. That same year, I put that much time into Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, but that was kind
Yeah,
of
that was
repeatable.
repeated content. I'm not.
I can name a
I'll
couple of
admit
games
that.
I've done that with. Metal Gear.
Yeah.
The Metal Gear series I've done that with. The Witcher series, of course. Mass Effect series, of course. And then the
Sure.
Final Fantasy series. Almost every single one of the Final Fantasy
No,
series I've
no,
done the
no.
same.
You guys are both have legitimate points. I'm just saying that on average, you don't see that much. You don't see that much
Yeah,
with
no,
game
it's
content.
Usually,
Not nowadays, no.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately.
especially when it's not, when you don't take in like multiplayer into consideration or
Yeah.
something like that. Like multiplayer will make a game last a lot longer than the single
Yeah,
player content.
it'll last it longer, but the thing is, it doesn't. Usually with the multiplayer, you only see so much new content.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll play it over and over, but with games like The Witcher or even Mass Effect, you can often find yourselves, and you can even put Metal Gear Solid. You find yourselves exploring and finding new content that generally makes for an excellent overall experience.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point I'm getting at. Now, I know you guys have kind of given me a hard time that I wasn't really able to get into The Witcher as much of you guys have. I do want to revisit the game eventually and try to give it that second thought.
You got to put that baseball game down first, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, I cannot argue with that.
Cy,
But
Cy likes what he likes.
I think but that's everybody, Ryan. But I do want to give it another try, and just to keep consistent, I have given The Witcher 3 praise for everything the developers and the publishers have done for it.
Are those the Mexican publishers?
Yeah.
The publishers?
Publishers.
Publishers.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably a good time to do it because there's not a whole lot of amazing games coming out until probably August, you know?
Well, I mean, we'll go through some of the ones in June.
Well,
I see
yeah,
a
that's what
couple
we're
of
gonna do.
games. There's at least 2 games in there that I can tell you that are coming out this month that I'm definitely going to be playing.
Yeah.
All right.
So we've got...
Well, Ryan, I think it's time to take a look at the list.
Yep. On June 1st, we have Pool Nation VR coming to the HTC Vive.
Yes.
Woo! Virtual pool.
Right? Don't even have to go to the bar anymore.
Also on the 1st, we have
Where's the fun in that?
Sengra Kagura Shinobi Versus coming to Windows. I imagine that's a
Sounds
fighting
like
game.
a fighting game, yeah.
Senran Kagura.
Turn On coming to Windows, Mac, and Xbox One.
Is that a porno?
It's like
game?
an
Do you want me to?
indie- Yeah.
I was about to say. Do you guys want me to list my turn-ons or
Yeah.
some ladies' turn-ons that I've read about?
All right, keep going.
They're not Windows. Do your turn-ons include Windows, Mac, and Xbox One, Si?
I would say it's one of those, Ryan.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, the middle one.
Brigador coming to Windows, Mac, and Linux on June 2nd. Assetto Corsa coming to PS4 and Xbox One on June 3rd.
Okay.
Dangerous Golf coming to Windows, PS4, and Xbox One on June 3rd, which is, I think,
What is that?
Yeah, what
I
makes
mean,
it so
you get mad and
dangerous?
throw your club at someone or
from
something?
what I understand, this is
Hey! You guys have seen the
There's
movie
some,
Caddyshack?
there's some
I should have said
burnout pedigree here.
Oh, it's from the
in
same
this
developers?
game. It's not
All
this. I don't. Maybe it's the
Oh,
same
dude,
developers.
Go up a little, Ryan. NBA Jam, Burnout, Black. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
I've seen some videos of it, and literally, it's like you hit this golf ball into these scenarios where there's like all this stuff to destroy, like in this dining room with all of these glasses and stuff like that. But it's all about the points.
Yeah.
So and you have control over the golf ball after you hit it. So you can like seek. It's not a golf game.
Yeah. I know.
They were pretty clear about it not being an actual golf game, but it is a ball going around a room and you're destroying stuff. So, I'm
So it's
sure-
like golf demolition or something.
Yeah, it's
like
like
a
Golf
demo
Jam.
derby, but with a
kinda
golf
funny.
ball. Daydreamer Awakened Edition coming to Xbox One. Not sure.
Roland
that is.
Studios.
This sounds like it's been on something before.
Oh.
Yeah, PlayStation 4.
World's taken over by aliens.
Big deal, right?
Mm.
Hard Reset Redux coming to Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. That's a first-person shooter that came out a while ago. Guess they're releasing a updated version of it.
Cool.
Hearts of Iron 4 coming to Windows, Mac, and Linux on June 6th. Edge of Nowhere coming to the Oculus Rift on June 6th. Atelier Sophie, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Book coming to PS Vita and PS4.
There you go, a Vita game.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of Vita games coming out.
Dude, yeah, they don't advertise it much, but you really just gotta be on the hunt. Like, Vita gets a lot of under-the-radar games.
Yeah, and a lot of them come out cross-plat, but they only
Yeah,
promote the PlayStation 4 version.
Oh, yeah, that was one thing I wanted to say to you, Ryan. If you want to have any other use for your Vita, you could always try that remote play stuff with your PS4. I don't know how good it works, but...
See, I play my Vita quite often. I mean, if I go out, but I also play my DS. I kind of hit every system I can.
Yeah.
What do you prefer?
You mean between a Vita and a DS?
Yeah.
That's hard to say. Part of me is leaning towards Vita because I'm a visual type person and I like the visuals better on the Vita. But
Dude,
the
you gotta
3DS
admit, yeah.
seems to have more of a flow of games. I mean,
More
you got to
variety.
think of this. It's like Xbox One, PlayStation 4, 3DS, Nintendo DS. The Wii is kind of like the portable for any other system,
Right.
that's the popularity. So the
It's so
3DS
weird.
actually sits up with the two main consoles.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like if you... You're right, dude. You're so right.
Yeah. In terms of sales, that's for sure.
As far as the kings of the castle go, yeah. The DS, it's like, yeah, we don't even need the Wii.
Now, the only thing
Nope.
that I really like to point out about the PS Vita is the build quality.
Yeah.
That unit is just so well built. When you hold
dude.
it, you're like, wow, this is an actual piece of equipment.
And I appreciate the little joysticks and the.
I always thought like the
No.
3DS felt like a little like
Toy?
Fisher Pricey.
Yeah.
There's only one thing that I do not like about the Vita, and that'd be the touch system on the back.
Yeah, that's a little annoying.
Yeah.
I wish you had the option to do something else with games on that, or have the your R2 and L2s on it instead of having that. But other than that, yeah, like you said, it feels so comfortable to be playing with.
Red, did you play the Uncharted one on the Vita? The Golden
Yes, I
Abyss?
did.
Yeah, remember they forced you to like use that back pad so much in that one because they were
hated
trying to
that.
demonstrate all the features. But
Yeah.
I just remember Melee, you had to like go up with your finger and like across. Yeah, it was so weird.
Well, didn't they do that in one Uncharted game with the motion controls and the
Yeah, the very first one.
The
They
You had an
PlayStation 3.
option. It wasn't. I don't remember it being mandatory, but I remember you had an option.
the very
to do
first
that.
one, dude. Like when it first released on PS3.
Yeah.
It was just when you were going over ledges, you had to balance the 6-axis. That's all it was.
Oh yeah, I do remember.
Oh,
that.
and they made you like use it to throw grenades too. Like you
Yeah, you
held the
had-
grenade button, then you had to go like this to make it go further. Yeah, they got rid of that by the sequel. Like,
that's awesome. Also on June 7th, Guilty Gear X3rd
for all you
Revelator,
fighters,
another fighter,
game.
PS3,
Yeah, it's a
PS4.
fighter game.
One of the bigger games coming out this month, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, coming June 7th to Windows, PS4, and Xbox One.
I'm curious about this still.
I played the beta, and it was, really wasn't too much going on. I mean, if you like the parkour and you can get into that, that's fine, but they've made this an open world.
Yeah, which might be a.
And I think it may be detrimental to it because it might get really old, like having to adhere to all this parkour and stuff like that. Because it's very pathfinding. They highlight everything where the path you're supposed to go in red and things like that. But you never know. They could, when it actually comes out, it could be a lot bigger than the beta ended up being. It looks great.
Yeah, it's a thing. Betas like sometimes can put a sour taste.
A lot of people said it didn't look very good, but I thought it looked pretty great.
Yeah, I heard people said it looked like crap. But
Yeah, it has a very unique aesthetic that I think it does well.
yeah, that's what the first one got praised for, like the color scheme and the unique gameplay. But
June 7th, we have Odin Sphere.
JRPG.
Odin Sphere JRPG. Coming to PS3, PS4, PS Vita.
Leaf Thrasir.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Norse.
Yeah, I was gonna
Norse
say,
word.
is that can you pronounce that if that's from your native homeland?
Odinsphere Leaf Thrasir.
Yeah. Also on the 7th, we have SteamRolled Heist HD coming to PS4 and PS Vita. I think this came out on Wii or 3DS, something like that. It's like a turn-based action game. Actually looks pretty cool.
nice.
On the 9th, we have Crush Your Enemies coming to Windows and Mac. 10th, we
Crush
have...
'em.
Hey,
Crush 'em.
Kirby. There's a Kirby game coming out on 3DS on the 10th. June 10th, Kirby Planet Roboto.
Robobot.
Robobot?
Robobot, yeah.
All right. Coming to
All right,
3DS.
Kirby.
The 10th, we have Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter, coming to Windows, PS4, and Xbox One.
I might look into that.
I like
I'm
a
a
good
big
mystery.
fan. Well, okay, the last mystery game that came out with PS4, I could not stand. I got by a third of the way through it and just put it down. That was that Soul Survivor
Okay.
game that just
All right.
It looked like it would be or Murder Suspect. I'm sorry, that's
Oh,
what it was,
that one,
Murder
dude.
Suspect.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Murder
And
Soul
so
Suspect,
I got partially through that game, and it looks so much better in like the previews of the game and
Yeah.
the trailer and everything. And you get into the game, and you're like, "This is boring." So
Well,
hopefully, Sherlock Holmes isn't that
Fun
way.
fact about that game, Red. That game came out, and then like a week later, the studio closed. So like those guys were. Well, no, I think they were already going to close before the game came out, but like it was just kind of funny. Like they released it and then they were done. So that might have
That's
played
too
a
bad.
part.
There might be a game coming up this month that may follow that same trajectory,
Uh-oh.
depending on how it ends up turning out. On the 14th, we have Dead by Daylight coming to Windows. Assuming
Okay.
that's like a survival game or something.
I'm getting tired of the survival games, to be honest.
It's kind of getting
There's like
old.
survival games are like a grain of sand. There's too many of them.
Yeah, now there's
There's not enough of them doing unique things, in my opinion.
that's the thing.
Agreed.
How many of them actually
Right.
feel like you're a survivor? You know.
Yeah. On June 21st, we have Deadlight Director's Cut coming to Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. Grand Kingdom coming to PS4 and PS Vita. Mighty Number 9.
Woo! Mighty number 9.
With the
Coming to
best
Windows.
trailer, best trailer of the year.
Hey, you, looking at the screen. Windows, Mac, Linux, PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Wii U.
Yeah, they're pumping
So
that out
it's-
on everything.
No
So
Vita.
everybody's system.
Yeah, no
Nope.
Vita. That's weird.
Oh.
dude.
Vita's announced, but they're not going to do it right away.
Colin
Apparently.
Moriarty's gonna be angry, man.
Yeah. This is the game that may result in the company closing shortly after it
Yeah.
getting released.
I don't know, man. I have a feeling it's still gonna sell good, but
I don't know. It's been a long time, and it doesn't
We'll
really
see.
look that great.
the fact that it isn't a Mega Man game might be what.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, that
we'll
trailer
see.
they released was awful.
What are you getting it, Red?
I said we'll see. I'm kind of I know it might be the same creator, but like Mega Man.
Yeah.
It is the same, yeah. Like,
Yeah, it's the creator. It's the guy that helped make Mega Man.
but
It might be, but you're like,
the main character
But I
looks
want-
goofy, man.
Yeah, it doesn't look enough like Mega Man.
He
to
doesn't
me.
look as badass as Mega Man does. Like he's
Like,
But
I know they got to
I
do
want
something
Mega Man.
different. Yeah, I know they got to do something
I
different.
want Mega Man.
But-
Well,
At
you're
the
not
same
getting
time-
Mega Man. You're getting Mighty number 9.
Yeah.
I'm getting Mega Man the second.
Is it
I
going to
don't
be
want the
Mighty Number
second.
9 2? Mighty Number 9 3? Is
Oh,
that how it's
God.
going to go?
yeah. How do you? I don't know.
On the 21st,
Nine,
still on
no,
the
it's
21st.
going to go 90210.
Yeah,
Shut
right.
up. Also on the 21st, we have Pac-Man 256 coming to Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. That's a mobile
Dang.
game they're porting over to other platforms.
Pac-Man's still kicking.
Yep.
Damn
Yep.
straight.
Umbrella Corps coming to Windows and PS4
Yes.
on June 21st.
Survival horror game.
Nope, that's a first-person shooter.
Is it really first person?
It's a first-person survival horror.
No, it isn't. It's a first-person squad-based action game.
This thing says under the
Yeah,
if you
go
click on it, multiplayer-based survival horror shooter game.
I'm pretty sure everything I've seen has been a
Well, dude, look at the-
competitive multiplayer.
Click.
I
Looks-
did.
does it
I'm
say?
looking at it. I don't
It
care
looks
what.
like a Resident Evil ripoff. That's what it
That's
looks
what I
like.
thought.
Isn't it made by?
It
yeah,
is.
it's by Capcom.
It's not a ripoff. It's by Capcom.
Yeah, dude.
It's a copy. It's as we were discussing
Yeah.
before we started this podcast.
I think-
that there's a
I
bunch
think-
of copy paste stuff.
One team
It's
are
a
the zombies
ripoff.
and one team are the Umbrella Corps.
Wait, so is it only multiplayer?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Ripoff.
It's not a Resident Evil game, is what. it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Well,
Um,
supposedly RE7 might still get announced this year.
I feel like they missed an opportunity here by not calling it Umbrella Corpse.
Oh, I
It
gotcha,
being
I
a
gotcha,
Resident
I
Evil
gotcha.
game and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, because it's DOA.
Yeah.
Jesus, Cyrus.
That got dark.
Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympics.
Woo!
Now that is a good exclusive right there.
Yeah, that is
Wii U.
hot Wii U exclusive. That's on June 24th. Also on June 24th, Steins Gate 0.
Yeah, Steins Gate.
semicolon.
Yeah, Steins Gate is an anime, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be one of those another JRPG.
All right, JRPG of the week.
Yep.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions #FE. Number
Again.
FE. Wii U.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's another one of those JR, and the reason I say this is if you look on some of these games, they're made by Atlas, and almost everything made by Atlas is one of those JRPGs.
Yeah.
So,
7 Days to Die coming out on June 28th on PS4 and Xbox One.
so we were talking. I'd like to talk a little bit about that game. So, when that game first released as an alpha on Steam, I played it. Now, I've seen that game go from, and it's one of these survival games that we were talking about, sandbox survival games. And so that's, in my opinion, one of the better ones that's come out.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
it gets you interacting and so forth. And I mean, if you're not quick enough, you're talking about how is it different. And this one, if you're not quick enough, you're dead.
Yeah, so is it based around you have 7 days to
So
do
every
everything?
7 days in this game, you have 7 days in order to really get started. And at that seventh day, a massive horde is going to come about you, of zombies is going to come at you and attack you. And if you don't have a base or something to protect yourself and be able to kill all of them, you're going to die. So if you do manage to survive it, you got 7 more days to build up even more.
Oh, okay.
And
cool
it just
concept.
repeats every 7 days, and see how long you can last doing that with each zombie apocalypse coming, zombie horde coming.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is it multiplayer?
yes, it is.
Is it only
Now-
multiplayer, or can you do single player too?
I think you can do single.
You can try single player, but I
Alright.
don't think you'll get very far.
All right.
How long does a day last in the game?
I'd have to say that it takes quite a few hours. I mean,
For one day? Really? Yeah. Okay.
For I'd say it's probably about 30 to 40 minutes per day.
Okay.
And then you go past that, so I mean, you got to play for quite a few hours for that first 7 day horde to get at you.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
wasn't sure if they wanted you to actually play for a week before you get to that,
Yeah, like
That'd
a real,
actually be
a real
kind of
week.
cool.
That would be
if they
kinda cool.
actually, but you'd have to set the timers, like where you crash something is actually how long it would take to
Yeah,
crash it.
you'd have. There'd probably be a lot of like free to play on mobile game timers.
Yeah, right.
Like you'd
Yeah.
set something to build, and then you'd have to come back later, and then they'd
Yeah.
probably be like, "Hey, if you buy some gems, it'll go faster,"
yeah.
or something like that.
There's a lot coming out on this day that it seems like, I mean, you know how May, June, July is like the big movie months of the year where you see all the biggest movies
Yeah,
coming
the
out for the
blockbusters.
summer.
Yeah.
This is like the blockbuster day for games, in my opinion.
What, the
for
28th
this
here?
month.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got a lot of good games coming out on that specific day.
Back on the 21st, you would have had No Man's Sky.
Well, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Get over it, Mr. Shepard.
So also on also on June 28th, we've got God Eater Resurrection coming to PS4 and PS Vita. We have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Eyes of Heaven coming to PS4. Quite the blockbuster day.
Nice. I'll get that for Sai.
We also have Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Or is that what you want, Sai?
Now, the Lego games are very similar to each other, almost all of them. But I have to say, owning almost all of them, they're a lot of fun.
Coming to
Sure.
Windows, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, PS Vita, Wii U, and 3DS.
Hey, man. This is everyone's chance to get their Force Awakens fix because Battlefront couldn't really provide in that area.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It actually looks pretty good for a Lego game. It looks like they're taking their time with it. They're making a good game. Maybe I'll check it out. I haven't really played one since Lego Indiana Jones, which was a really long time ago.
it's funny.
So maybe this is one I'll try. Prison Architect coming to PS4 and Xbox One.
All right, I gotta ask. Can you click on that one? Is
Think
that
it-
about like building a prison? Oh, yeah.
Construction and Management Simulation.
Wow.
I would say, yeah.
Control building and running a prison.
Yep. I think it came out on PC last year. So if you want to build a prison,
So it's like
Prison Architect.
It's like City Skylines, but it's prison style.
Right.
That's funny. All right.
Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness coming
go,
to
Red.
PS4.
Yeah, now see, this is one of my favorites because this goes down into one of those series that I like again. Star Ocean's another one of those series that I've enjoyed playing over the years that has a unique story arc. The main character almost always looks very similar, I can tell you. But it's definitely something that if you like any of the Square Enix games, get into because it is a Square Enix game. I don't know what else to say. The last game came out a couple of years ago, I think.
This is a
it was-
JRPG, right?
Yeah.
What
It's
makes this
okay.
JRPG different than every other JRPG?
Different fight style.
All right. Is it
I mean,
turn-based?
No, it's not. I mean, it kind of was when it started, but you can kind of move around with it as well. I mean, I've only seen a few trailers on this one. The graphics are amazing for it. It's completely different. It's kind of Final Fantasy-esque, but more, how would I put this?
Sci-fi.
Cartoonish
Okay.
to it. A little
Do
bit
you
more anime-ish
do you
to
go
it.
into space?
There is some space stuff
All
into
right.
this where you travel to different planets. Like one of the other games, you travel to a different planet and you interact with a society that's somewhere in the medieval times, and
Okay.
they can use magic, but you don't, you learn that you can use magic too. And then you travel to different places and so forth in different star systems. And
In terms of
that,
it, like being the first JRPG I ever play, would it be a good one?
yes, if you decided to be one of the first that you'd ever play, yes, I'd definitely say, yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
That's cool.
If I haven't played the other ones, will I be lost?
The way it looks like this, no, it's kind of like Final Fantasy again,
All
where
right.
each one of them is its own story.
All right. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a shot.
No,
I
I've
want
always-
to. I
yeah.
want to try a JRPG. That's the one tick box I want to check off this year. See if I can
Yeah.
get into one. Terraria is finally coming to the Wii U on June 28th. Speaking of checking off boxes, that is on pretty much everything I imagine now. So, Red, on June 28th, the Technomancer is coming to Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. What is the
Now-
Technomancer?
That's hard to explain. Now, this game is kind of like a science fiction type game that I've seen a couple trailers for it
Yeah.
that have described this game, and most of the time when I get a game, I just usually I'm watching a trailer. I don't always get a chance to see a gameplay, but sometimes it will. But this one just it pulls you in. It looks like it's got amazing graphics. It is
It's like
see what
Cyberpunk,
it's
right?
kind of, yes. And then it's an RPG. I mean, every time you guys see me on here, I'm an RPG fan.
Yeah.
This is an action RPG, so definitely get me into that. Some of the things it says that this is some of the people that worked on Remember Me helped with this. So
Oh, Don't Nod. Yeah. Right? This
Yeah.
is a game by Don't Nod. Is it by them,
it's-
or is it just some people that worked on that used to work
some
there?
people that previously worked on it, and it's
Okay.
saying some of the music and the soundtracks in the game that you see for that. There are a couple different types of combat in it. You can
Watching
decide which way you want to level.
watching the trailer, it gave me kind of like a Blade Runner vibe.
Kind of.
Like it was kind of like they were synthetics, right? They were robots, like kind of like living among us or something like that.
Partially, that's kind of what I was getting from it. I mean, the whole when I was looking through the trailer, I was seeing kind of skills that you could go through, the different trees that they had, and the fact that it have different types of combat. And I tend to get drawn to games that give you different ways to play the game, and
Okay.
so that you're able to. We were talking about replayability and how something might be new. Well, if you're doing it new and maybe let's say you want to play it again if it's a quick game, but you can play it a whole different way. That kind of helps me. That's the thing that I enjoy about a game. So that's what's drawing me to this particular game. I could end up wrong and it can be a complete flop.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's kind of coming in under the radar, so
yeah,
games like that can go either way.
Absolutely. I don't think they've made any other games. It's made by Spiders as the
Yeah,
developer
never
of
heard of
Focus Home Interactive. So
Yeah. All right, cool.
we'll
Well,
see.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that when it comes out at the end of the month. Also, on the 28th, we have Zero Time Dilemma coming to the Vita and the 3DS. On the 30th, we have Super Robot Wars Original Generation, the Moon Dwellers, coming to PS3 and PS4.
Colon.
That's actually the short title.
yeah.
Also on the 30th, we have Zero Time Dilemma, which came out 2 days before on the Vita and 3DS, coming to Windows. Well, I don't know why they're not coming out the same day,
Yeah,
but
right.
whatever. And then we have 2 to be announced that may come out. We have Abduction coming to Windows and We Happy Few coming to Windows and Xbox One. Abduction, I think that's like a horror game.
Adventure. Developed by...
Adventure puzzle? All right, maybe not.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple standouts here. We've got Mirror's Edge and the Technomancer, hopefully.
And you know Mighty Number 9 is going to
yeah.
get hyped. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Whether we're pumped or not, it's going to get hyped.
Whether it's terrible or not,
Yeah.
it's going to get hyped.
Like, once it comes, we're going to hear about it for a week, whether it's great or if it's terrible. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll either be a huge deal either way.
I'm putting my money on being pessimistic about it. Let's just put it that way.
Well, you also bought Hitman. So.
Anything
That makes
you
no sense.
Got your eye on this month, Drew?
Uh,
Or are you going to save your money?
like, honestly, Mirror's Edge, probably. Like,
Okay.
the only one that really... maybe the Sherlock Holmes.
What about you, Cy?
Besides Sherlock Holmes, and that's only a very distinct possibility, but that I may even have interest in it. Not really. I think I'm just going to spend the time playing the games I have. I'm going to probably play Uncharted a little bit more, or replay it again. I probably will play...
and get a trophy.
Yeah.
Yes, Red. I
Beat
will
it for the first time?
Hey, I already beat it for the first time, but I got to rebeat it for the trophy.
Yeah.
Maybe 7 Days to Die. Well, I'll see.
Yeah,
like,
I'm actually looking into that. Maybe I'll take a look at that.
It's a pretty decent game. I don't think it's the $60 version. I think it might be a cheaper game than that.
Oh.
Like I said, I got into the alpha on the PC, on Steam. So I mean, that would definitely be something I'd suggest looking into.
Yeah, I want to see like if they port it well, it comes out good on the consoles. Then
Yeah.
for sure.
If you can get some
They're
people.
constantly updating it as well. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, one of you can make a motorbike in that thing.
Yeah, it's,
I mean,
it's
which is
listed on
pretty cool.
Amazon for $30.
Yeah, which isn't bad at all.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no.
And I know, Red, you're looking forward to the Technomancer and Star Ocean. Is there anything else?
The Sherlock Holmes, kind of like you guys are on that. I wish I had a Wii U to try out some of the Wii U games. Like I believe that Kirby game was a Wii U game, correct? No, that's a 3DS. I might look into that on
you
my
can get
3DS.
that. There you go.
Wow. Kirby looks like
But
a badass.
I don't know if I could say anything else looks particularly entertaining this month. Other than that, I think I'm gonna have my hands full with those couple games, but they're not coming out till end of the month, so I'm probably gonna finish up the Witcher 3 again.
Yeah.
Get through Heart and Stone, and then get back into Blood and Wine. I kind of set it down for a while, started all over again, and see how that goes until about the 28th, and then
so
get into those other games.
You've got your month full then, dude. Really, like
Yeah.
with that one game. So
That's like
yeah, absolutely. It'll take up a lot of your time.
that'll be the beginning of the month for me. That's for sure. That and finishing up Doom.
I haven't quite played Doom yet.
So good,
I
man.
keep hearing mixed reviews on it. Some people saying it's great, and others are like, it's kind of the same old stuff.
It's great. I'll probably
I'm
check
glad I
out
didn't
7
get
Days to
Homefront.
Die. Yeah, that looked like a pretty bad game.
Homefront.
7 Days to Die looks pretty good. And I'll probably at least keep my eye on Technomancer because that could be a cool RPG. Other than that, SteamWorld Heist, I'm going to look at that on my Vita.
All right.
Dude, you know you're getting Mighty Number 9, right?
I'm not getting Mighty
Don't front
Number
now.
9.
I'm not. I'm definitely not touching that game.
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm going to
Not after what I've seen, it doesn't look worth it.
cautious optimism. That's
Dangerous Golf, though. Come on, guys.
no.
I'm sorry. That game, I give a big fat.
All right, well, that's going to do it for the games of June. We'll be back to go over the games of July, which right now looks like maybe
Nothing.
8, 9 games coming out in July right now. Although they sometimes add more as time goes on.
Well, we're going to be returning to Arkham in July, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, we will. I don't
Yeah.
know about Ryan.
Well, no, I don't think I'm gonna.
I still have
From
to
what I'm
finish
hearing.
Arkham. Maybe
I'm still working on
that's
Arkham
something
Knight
I'll probably
myself.
do. Yeah, I'll probably play some Arkham Knight because I still haven't finished that.
That's the thing. I'm still working on AC Syndicate, Mad Max, and what's the other one?
I could go back to Mad Max.
Yeah. No, I do
Well,
see
it's
your
too bad we
complaints
don't
about
have
that,
No
right?
Man's Sky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really too bad because that would have been my entire month.
And
Anyway.
Arkham Knight. There we go. All right.
That's gonna do it.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Later, peeps.
Thank you.